Admiral Zexathara's crystalline appendages clicked nervously against his command console as the holographic display materialized before the Galactic Council's emergency session. The assembled delegates, representatives of 17 advanced species spanning 3 spiral arms, leaned forward in their respective atmospheric bubbles, their various sensory organs focused intently on the data streams. "Honored Council," Zexathara began, his translator converting his harmonic speech patterns into the standard diplomatic frequency. "What you are about to witness defies everything we understand about warfare in the civilized galaxy." The hologram shifted, displaying grainy surveillance footage from the Kepler sector. In the void of space, sleek metallic forms moved with unprecedented precision. They weren't large, barely the size of standard civilian transport vessels, but they moved, like predators, like nothing the galaxy had ever seen. Counselor Vethmar of the Centauri Collective raised 3 of her 4 arms. "Admiral, these appear to be standard assault craft. What makes them so?" Her words died as the recording showed one of the mysterious vessels engaging a draconian heavy cruiser. The alien warship, a kilometer-long behemoth that had terrorized the Outer Rim for decades, simply ceased to exist. No explosion, no debris field. One moment it was there, the next it was gone, reduced to constituent atoms by weapons that seemed to bend reality itself. "By the ancient stars," whispered Elder Kothran, his tentacles writhing in agitation. "What kind of technology is this?" Zexathara manipulated the display, zooming in on the mysterious craft. Their hulls bore no insignia, no identifying markers of any known civilization. They were smooth, almost organic in design, yet clearly artificial. Most disturbing of all, they operated with a coordination that suggested a hive mind. But one, driven by predatory intelligence rather than collective consciousness. "We've encountered 17 of these vessels across 4 sectors," the Admiral continued. "They appear without warning, eliminate specific targets with surgical precision, then vanish into the quantum foam. Our best analysts estimate their technology is centuries beyond anything in our databases." The delegate from Rigel Prime, his cybernetic implants whirring as they processed the data, spoke up. "Energy signatures are unlike anything we've cataloged. The propulsion system appears to manipulate space-time directly, and those weapons—" He paused, his mechanical voice dropping to a whisper. "Those weapons seem to unravel molecular bonds at the quantum level." Zexathara nodded grimly. "We've lost sleep cycles trying to identify their origin. The technology suggests a species that has mastered both quantum mechanics and dimensional physics. The strategic implications are troubling." A new voice echoed through the chamber, gravelly, rough, entirely organic. Every delegate turned toward the human representative, Ambassador Sarah Chen, who had remained silent throughout the presentation. She sat calmly in her simple atmospheric suit, a stark contrast to the elaborate life support systems surrounding her. "Impressive analysis," she said, her lips curving into what her species called a smile. "Though I'm afraid your timeline is off by about 300 years. The chamber fell silent. Zexathara's crystals stopped clicking entirely. "I beg your pardon?" Elder Kothran's tentacles had gone completely still, a sign of extreme shock in his species. Ambassador Chen stood slowly, her movements deliberate and unhurried. "Those aren't alien vessels, honored delegates. They're human." The silence stretched for several seconds before erupting into chaos. Multiple species began speaking at once, their translators creating a cacophony of overlapping protests and questions. Chen waited patiently for the noise to subside. "Impossible," declared Counselor. "Vethmar, humans are barely spacefaring. Your species only achieved faster-than-light travel 30 years ago. These vessels demonstrate technology that should take millennia to develop." "Should," Chen agreed, "by galactic standards. But humans have never been particularly concerned with what we should be able to do." She gestured, and a new hologram appeared, one that made several delegates recoil in their seats. It showed a massive installation hidden in the asteroid fields of the Sol system, its construction clearly predating first contact with the galactic community by decades. Project Cerberus has been operational for 47 years, Chen explained. While you were cataloging our primitive chemical rockets and nuclear fusion, we were already experimenting with technologies your species considered theoretical impossibilities. Admiral Zexathera's voice carried a note of disbelief. But your industrial capacity, your scientific infrastructure, was always more advanced than we let on. Chen's smile widened. You see, when humanity first detected signs of galactic civilization, we faced a choice: announce our presence immediately, or observe and prepare. We chose the latter. She manipulated the display again, showing production facilities hidden throughout human space. We studied your technologies, your military doctrines, your weaknesses. 17 different species, each convinced of their own superiority, each following predictable patterns of warfare that hadn't evolved in centuries. You've been spying on us, accused Elder Kothron, his tentacles now writhing with anger. We've been learning from you, Chen corrected, and improving upon what we learned. Those vessels you find so mysterious, they incorporate technology, adapted from every species represented in this chamber, refined, miniaturized, and enhanced by human engineering principles. The chamber erupted again, but this time with a different tone. Fear had entered the voices of the galactic representatives. Chen raised her hand for silence. The Cerberus fleet isn't a threat to peaceful civilizations. They've been eliminating pirates, raiders, and other criminal elements that prey on legitimate commerce. Your own shipping lanes have never been safer. And if we were to object to this intervention, the question came from the draconian representative, his voice carefully modulated to hide his concern. Ambassador Chen's expression grew serious. Then you would be objecting to the protection of innocent lives. And humanity takes a very dim view of those who prey upon the innocent. She paused, letting the implications sink in. The galaxy has grown comfortable with its hierarchies, its assumptions about technological development and military power. Perhaps it's time for a new perspective. As the emergency session dissolved into urgent whispered conferences between delegates, Admiral Zexathera remained at his console, studying the human ambassador with new understanding. Humanity hadn't just joined the galactic community, they had been reshaping it from the shadows for decades. The real question, he realized, wasn't what other technologies the humans had developed in secret. It was what they planned to do with them next. In the depths of space, sleek predators continued their silent patrol, guardian angels with quantum teeth, ensuring that the galaxy's innocent could sleep safely while its predators learned to fear the darkness between stars. After all, humans had always been exceptionally good at hunting.